Welcome back to No Party with B and J. Today we pick up where episode 1 left off to understand this MAGA shift we're seeing right now. The break with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Massey's concern, Trump's reversals. We have to go back to the very beginning.
Because before you can say whether a man changed, you got to know what he promised and whether he kept the foundation he built his movement on.
2016 is where the blueprint was drawn, and tonight we pull out the blueprint and lay the receipts on the table. Let's list the major promises. These are taken directly from a 2016 platform. Speeches are archived, White House policy pages. Build the wall and Mexico will pay. Bring back manufacturing jobs. Repeal and replace Obamacare. Protect kids in trafficking. Drain that swamp. Release documents and increase transparency. Stop foreign influence. Put America first. Cut taxes for working families. Reduce deficit. And end the endless wars.
That's a big list, Justin. A bold list. And we're not judging it. We're breaking it down. What happened?
Okay, here it goes. The promise. Build the wall. Mexico will pay. The reality? 452 miles of barriers were replaced or reinforced. Only 80 miles were newly built where no barrier existed. Mexico did not pay. U.S. taxpayers funded it. Land was seized from American citizens through court action. Private fundraising efforts ended in fraud prosecutions.
Here's the breakdown. The wall exists, just not the way it was sold. Taxpayers paid, people lost land, and Mexico didn't cut the check either. That doesn't make him evil. It just means the promise ain't the reality.
Another promise. Repeal and replace Obamacare on day one. The reality? The repeal failed by one vote in the Senate. John McCain cast the deciding vote. The law was not replaced. Millions kept their coverage. The administration weakened certain provisions. Prices rose for some age groups.
And this tells you something early. The movement wanted it done. Trump wanted it done. But the structure, the Senate, blocked it. So the promise didn't happen. Not because he didn't try, but because he didn't have the votes.
Another promise. Manufacturing jobs are leaving. I will bring them back. The reality? Manufacturing rose slightly from 2017 to 2019. But by 2020, the numbers dropped. Trade wars hit farmers and exporters. Supply chains were disrupted. Several factories moved overseas despite subsidies.
It bounced up, then it crashed. Some gains, but not the big industrial comeback he promised. We're keeping this neutral. There were wins and losses, but it wasn't the manufacturing boom America was told to expect.
Okay, another promise. Drain the swamp. The reality? Record turnover in the cabinet. Multiple criminal convictions among inner circle. Lobbyists gained more influence. Donors received key roles. Ethic waivers increased. Foreign officials spent money at Trump properties.
This is where people started questioning the pattern, not because the political opinions, but because the receipts showed up. The swamp wasn't drained, it expanded. Even people inside the movement started whispering it.
Another promise. Protect America's children. Fight trafficking. The reality? Some law enforcement operations increased. Federal coordination improved. But investigations into Epstein were slowed. Maxwell's case dragged for years. Transparency on elite networks remained limited. File release did not happen.
That hits the heart of episode 1. And protecting the kids is priority number 1. Why weren't those files pushed harder until 2025? That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene and Massey said, this ain't matching the message.
Another promise, total transparency. In reality, many records remain sealed. Meetings went undocumented. Visitor logs were restricted. Multiple investigations stayed classified. Epstein file release simply has not happened.
This one matters because now, today, he's pushing for the release. But for years, nothing moved. This is where people started asking, was transparency the plan or just the slogan?
Another promise, America first, no foreign influence. The reality, foreign governments spent heavily at Trump hotels. Multiple business dealings continued overseas. Foreign policy decisions aligned with financial interests at the time. Influential foreign leaders gained access through private channels.
We ain't going deep here. That's episode 4. But the patterns don't match the promise. You can't say America first while foreign money and access increases justice.
The promise? Cut taxes for working families and reduce the deficit. The reality? Major tax laws passed, top earners benefiting the most, deficit increased significantly, working class gains were smaller than projected.
This one is simple. People like the extra money, but most of them went to the wealthy. That's just the IRS math, not politics.
The promise? End the endless wars. The reality? Some troops were withdrawn, others were deployed. Drone strikes increased, new tensions emerged, U.S. military activity continued globally.
Troops moved, but not ended. War footprint didn't shrink like the promise.
Okay, here's the official breakdown of all 102 tracked 2016 promises. 24 were kept, 23 compromised, 55 broken. That's the documented score, Brenda.
Not judgment, not just math, just receipts. This tells you the movement didn't get everything it was sold.
When you compare promises to outcomes, you start seeing the slow shift Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking about in episode 1.
The movement started one thing, but the record shows it gradually became something else. Less about the people and more about the leader. That's the shift.
Okay, in episode 3, we're going to dive into January 6th, the loyalty war, the pressure campaign, and what it revealed about power.
Because episode 2 is the blueprint. Episode 3 is the movement the blueprint was tested.
This has been episode 2, the promises, the record, and the gap between the two.
If you can vote, vote. If you can't vote, drive 5 who can, and don't let slogans replace the.
We'll catch you on the other side.
What's up, everybody?